One morning you walk past your snake plant, the same one you've had for years, the one you've barely touched, the one that somehow just keeps living. And something is different. There's a long stem rising from the center. And by evening, small white flowers open and release a scent so sweet it fills the entire room. Your first thought is, what just happened? Because here's what most people don't know. Snake plants can go 10, 15, even 20 years without ever producing a single flower. Some devoted plant owners never see it happen in their lifetime. So when it does bloom, it means something. And today I'm going to tell you exactly what. Here's what makes this so remarkable. The scientific explanation and the spiritual explanation arrive at the exact same conclusion. Through completely different paths, they point to the same truth. By the end of this video, you'll never look at your snake plant the same way again. Let's start. The plant that never needs you until it does. The snake plant, scientifically known as Sansevieria trifasciata, is famous for one thing above all else. It survives everything. Low light, forgotten waterings, temperature swings, dry air, neglect of almost any kind. It is the definition of a resilient houseplant. And that's exactly what makes its blooming so extraordinary. A plant that asks for nothing, that endures everything, that has no biological need to impress anyone. One day decides to use every bit of energy it has stored and create flowers. Delicate, fragrant, beautiful flowers that last only a few days before disappearing. Why? What triggers it? What does it mean? The answer is more fascinating than most people expect. What ancient traditions say. Long before botanical science existed, cultures across Africa, the Americas, and Asia were observing this plant and drawing conclusions from it. In West Africa, the snake plant's place of origin, its blooming was not treated as a quiet personal event. It was announced to the community. Neighbors were invited. The date was marked because the flower was seen as a sign that the home had reached a rare state of harmony. Not just physical safety, but something deeper. The ancestors approved. The family's way of living had earned a visible confirmation. This wasn't superstition. It was pattern recognition, accumulated across generations of careful observation. In communities across the southern United States, particularly among families preserving African traditions in Georgia, Louisiana, and the Carolinas, the snake plant's bloom carried a specific meaning. Economic blessing was arriving. Not wished for, not hoped for, already in motion. The flower wasn't a prediction. It was confirmation of something that had already quietly begun. I spoke with elder plant caretakers in their 70s and 80s who had witnessed this pattern more than once. A woman from New Orleans told me her grandmother's snake plant bloomed in 1985. 4 months later, her grandfather, unemployed for a year, landed a job that supported the family for the next 2 decades. Her grandmother always said the plant had known before they did. The flowers, in this tradition, don't announce that good fortune is coming. They reveal that it is already there, that something positive is already unfolding in your life, even if you haven't noticed it yet. The plant functions like a detector, but instead of sensing danger, it senses stability and prosperity. In southwestern indigenous communities, the snake plant was called the upright energy plant, its vertical form symbolizing integrity, strength, and purpose. When it flowered, it meant those qualities were being honored in the home. One elder I spoke with put it simply, the plant stands like a warrior, always alert. When the village is safe, when the work has been done well, the warrior can finally celebrate. The flower is that celebration. It is not a beginning. It is the recognition of everything that was already built. What Feng Shui says. Within Feng Shui practice, the snake plant is classified as a source of ascending yang energy. Its upward-pointing leaves generate a rising, activating force, which is why practitioners recommend it for stagnant corners, heavy entryways, and spaces where energy feels blocked. When this plant blooms in Feng Shui terms, it signals that good fortune has not just arrived, it has activated. The environment has achieved balance. Negative accumulated energy has been cleared. The space is stable, intentional, and ready. Where it blooms also carries meaning. Near the front entrance, strong protection, and an open pathway for prosperity. In a communal living space, family harmony at its peak. In a bedroom, emotional balance and inner peace for the person who sleeps there. What I find extraordinary is that Feng Shui doesn't contradict the science here. It describes the same conditions using a different language. And that brings us to the part that changes everything. What science says and why it matches perfectly. Botanists have studied the flowering of Sansevieria trifasciata in detail, and the findings are genuinely fascinating. The first requirement is maturity. A snake plant needs to be old enough, typically between 3 and 10 years, before it can even consider blooming. But maturity alone is not enough. The second requirement is what researchers describe as mild environmental stress. And this is the key to understanding everything. When a snake plant experiences certain controlled challenges, a reduction in watering that mimics the approach of a dry season, roots that have grown to fill their container, or a slight drop in nighttime temperatures suggesting seasonal change, the plant reads these signals as a message from its environment. The message is, conditions are shifting. Reproduce now. This is the right moment. In its native West African habitat, the snake plant blooms during seasonal transitions, when the dry period is ending, when conditions are shifting toward the rains, when the window for reproduction is opening. It doesn't flower at random. It flowers strategically at precisely the moment when its offspring would have the best chance of survival. When your snake plant blooms indoors, it means you have, without necessarily realizing it, recreated those same natural cues inside your home. Here's where the air purification piece becomes extraordinary, and almost no one connects these two things. This is the part of the science that, once you understand it, makes the traditional interpretations feel less like metaphor and more like early observation. The snake plant is one of the most effective air-purifying houseplants known to science. It removes formaldehyde, benzene, xylene, and trichloroethylene from indoor air. And it does this at night. It's one of the few plants that performs CM photosynthesis, keeping its pores open after dark to release oxygen while you sleep. But purifying air is metabolically expensive. The plant is constantly capturing compounds, processing them at a cellular level, and converting them into less harmful byproducts. That requires energy. When the environment stabilizes, when air quality improves because the plant has been doing its job, the plant no longer needs to spend as much energy on survival. That surplus energy is redirected. And where does it go? Toward reproduction, toward flowering. The plant, in a very literal biological sense, flowers because it can finally afford to, because the environment is stable enough, because the work of survival has eased enough for life to expand into something more. The plant blooms when the environment is healthy enough to support not just its own survival, but potentially the survival of its offspring. Ancient traditions said, it blooms when the space has positive energy, when harmony is present, when the home is in a good place. Science says, it blooms when the environment is stable and healthy enough for the plant to shift from survival mode into reproductive mode. Two completely different frameworks. One single truth. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. What ancient observers were detecting, across generations and across continents, was a pattern that modern science has since confirmed in cellular and molecular detail. The plant responds to its environment. When the environment is healthy, balanced, and stable, the plant shifts into a different mode entirely. It stops surviving and starts thriving. And thriving, for a plant, looks like a flower. How to encourage your snake plant to bloom. Understanding why it blooms tells you exactly what to do. Here's what actually works. Light is the first factor. Your plant needs at least 6 hours of bright, indirect light daily. Not harsh direct sun. A spot near a window with a sheer curtain is ideal. The key is seasonal variation. If you can give it slightly more light in spring and summer and slightly less in winter, you're replicating the natural cycle its biology is designed to respond to. Watering is the second factor, and the one where most people go wrong. The most effective rule is simple. Let the soil dry out completely between waterings. In summer, that might mean watering every 2 to 3 weeks. In winter, once a month or less. Push your finger 2 knuckles deep into the soil. If there's any moisture at all, wait. That period of slight drought between waterings is not neglect. It is one of the biological triggers for flowering. The pot matters more than people think. Don't move your snake plant into a large container thinking more space means better growth. Snake plants are more likely to flower when their roots are slightly constrained. When you see roots emerging from the drainage holes, don't rush to repot. That's often the window when blooming is most likely. Temperature variation is the fourth trigger. A slight drop in nighttime temperature during autumn, nothing extreme, just a few degrees below the daytime warmth, can be exactly the signal the plant needs. It mimics seasonal change. The plant responds. For fertilizing, apply a balanced fertilizer at half strength, once a month, only during spring and summer. Stop completely in autumn and winter. That rest period is when the plant internally accumulates the energy it will eventually direct toward flower. And the sixth factor is the one nobody wants to hear: patience. Once the right conditions are in place, the process unfolds on its own timeline, and it cannot be rushed. You cannot pressure a snake plant into blooming any more than you can pressure a good thing into arriving before it's ready. The biology and the tradition agree on this completely. Both say, prepare the conditions, do your part, and then step back. But when you finally see that stem rising from the center, when the flowers open in the evening and the fragrance reaches you from across the room, you will understand why so many cultures across so many centuries treated this moment as something worth marking. The final thought. What I find most powerful about all of this is not the science and not the spiritual tradition. It's what they share. A home with positive energy is also, in practical terms, a home where someone pays attention, where light comes in, where care is consistent without being excessive, where there is order and intention. A home where someone notices when something changes. That is harmony, both in energetic terms and in botanical ones. The snake plant's bloom is not random. It is a direct response to the environment you have created. If your plant flowers, it means you're doing something genuinely right, whether you measure that in air quality and environmental stability, or in energy, attention, and the quiet dedication of daily care. The flower itself lasts only a few days. It is brief, delicate, and gone before you fully absorb what you witnessed. But the fact that it happened at all, that a plant built to endure chose on one particular day to use everything it had stored to create something beautiful, says something worth holding on to. Even under difficult conditions, when everything finally aligns, life finds a way to flourish. Has your snake plant ever bloomed? Tell me in the comments when it happened, where the plant was, and what was going on in your life at the time. I read every single response, and these stories matter. If this video gave you something new, hit the like button. It takes 1 second, and it helps this channel reach people who genuinely want this kind of content. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. And if you know someone with a snake plant, share this with them. After this, they'll look at it differently. Take care of your plants, and let them take care of you. The plant has been watching all along. It has been recording the quality of the air, the consistency of your care, the steadiness of the environment you've built. When everything reaches the right level, it tells you. Not in words, in flowers. That's the message. And it's been waiting for you to be ready to receive it.